There's a lot left to be decided, my friends, in the final week. But one thing we've known since March 20th, right? The West playoffs, they will have to go through the top-seeded Oklahoma City here. But there could be some vulnerabilities that are a little bit more of an experienced team maybe could take advantage of here. That certainly looked like it was the case on Sunday with LeBron James and the Lakers in town. Brian, we're going to pick this up in the final 50 seconds of the first quarter. The Lakers up here. Gabe Vincent, ooh, nice pass, hits the three. The Lakers were shooting the lights out from the three ball.
15 of these they made in the first half alone.
Lakers 10th made three of the half. Lakers up 20 now.
Well, and for me, look, if the Lakers are going to shoot this well, it's kind of like the Celtics formula. If the Celtics make 23s, they don't lose. And then, look, if the Lakers are knocking down these shots, I think Luka's shot creation was probably the most unexpected thing for the Lakers' three-point attempts.
Luka looked excellent in this one. Ahead to the third quarter we go. Under 7 minutes left to go here. Watch SGA on this one, Richard. He drives, he misses. He just looks a little bit flustered here. He doesn't get the call. It was his first time since December 18th, 2021 without a free throw attempt in a game.
Well, the Lakers, when they are locked in defensively, as you see Luka with the up and under. When the Lakers are locked in defensively, we saw they're one of the best defensive teams in this league since January 1 when they're playing well.
LeBron gets the steal, throws it down the other way. He's 40 years old, and he's doing that. Richard needs icing hot.
No, look, that's not really a LeBron window.
LeBron after the game.
That's not a LeBron window.
This is a great team to test out and see where you are, but ultimately it's about our habits. We have to continue to push our habits. They know who they are. You know, they know what they're going to be in the postseason. We're still trying to figure it out, you know, with our lineups, with, you know, us all getting acclimated to what Luka wants to do, AR, you know, myself, and, you know, and to make sure we keen on everybody else on the team and make sure we hold, you know, each other accountable. So, you know, we understand that, you know, coming down the stretch, we have to play some really good basketball, but we're still working on habits.
Okay, so let's just be clear here. The Thunder, as Shea says, I'm consistent in everything I do. They have been far and away the most consistent team in the NBA this season. They've hit just a little bit of a skid as of late. Two of the Thunder's three worst losses of the season. They've come in their last two games. That could be something to keep an eye on as we head into the postseason here. They play again tomorrow, Perk, but what did this game show you?
Well, I believe that the Lakers came out with it on their mind, and it was a warning shot to OKC. Like, hey, listen, I understand y'all the top dogs, but we're a veteran squad led by LeBron James, and we're going to come in and we're going to compete, and you need to strap your shoes up. Was it one of those, like, one of the most impressive wins for the Lakers? Absolutely. Do I have the Lakers picked to beat Oklahoma City Thunder in a 7-game series? Hell no, I don't. But because I don't believe the Lakers could go out there and shoot 55% from the three on a consistent basis like they did, but it was a warning shot to OKC like, hey, y'all better wake the hell up, because those non-believers and those rumors and those whispers y'all been hearing around the league that guys don't fear y'all, well, we're one of them. So again, I believe OKC actually needed that gut punch from the Lakers and needed that pounding to get back and get their mental back together.
JJ kind of said that, right? You can't necessarily rely on the three-point shooting night that they had, but their defense is what he wants to carry over here. Meanwhile, the Thunder, they've given up at least 125 in back-to-back games. I'm
not going to make anything of it, but I am glad they're playing the Lakers again tomorrow, because they lost.
Think the Lakers are going to play their guys?
They have to.
Mm-hmm.
They have to. They have to make sure they lock down that 3 seed. I think Friday they lost to the Rockets. They're the 2 seed right now. Sunday they lose to the Lakers. They're the 3 seed right now. I am very happy that I get to see how they respond to this, because, you know, they've proven over the course of 5 months that they are the best team in the Western Conference. But you don't want to let one of these teams get a little edge on you. So I'm not stressing about it, but I do want to see how they react tomorrow night.
Look, I know Houston is kind of trying to separate themselves a little bit as a 2 seed, but everybody else, it's like, hey, you lose to the Golden State Warriors, they could be the 3 seed. Then the next day you lose them, they could be the 6 seed. So I don't think there's this mentality of like Cleveland versus Boston, 1 versus 2. If we lose this game, what does that mean down the line? I think for OKC, it's just about how are we playing. Right now, they want to reassess something. They were on a 70-win pace.
Right.
They lose back-to-back games to 2 very good teams, and one of them shoots 15 threes in the first half. You chalk that up.
22 on the night.
Yeah, you chalk that up to just like, hey, good job.
Right.
Can you do that in a 7-game series 4 times versus us? And I don't think they can.
I do wonder if we're going to need to see. I know everyone needs to play. There is a tight race in the Western Conference that we're going to lay out in just a minute. I do wonder if they play their guys in this second game against Oklahoma City, because it is on the first night of a back-to-back back against the Dallas Mavericks. Luka's return in Dallas. Are you happy with splitting? That's something that JJ Redick and company are going to need to assess. Watch this, just how connected they are on Steph Curry here.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, every team attempts to do it. Very few teams have the personnel to do it. And that's the difference with the Houston Rockets. They have the personnel and depth to be able to cause those problems.
So Curry 0 of 2 from the field in the first quarter. Going ahead to the second now here. Draymond Green getting in a little bit of a physical exchange here with Alperen Şengün.
With the European center. Boy, I've never seen that before.
Warned by the referee and then received a tech. So this game is getting a little chippy early here, Richard.
Yeah, well, Draymond always makes everything chippy. That's the edge that he brings to the Warriors. Love him, hate him, have an opinion about him. But Steph Curry, we already know how we feel about him.
You just witnessed his only make of the day from there. But with that three, he passes Reggie Miller for 24th all-time in scoring. The Rockets have a 1-point lead at the half. So to the third quarter we go. Watch Jalen Green here. Looks for Alperen Şengün. Baby Jokic for the dunk.
Oh, no, this is impressive. Watching Houston even navigate. This game is close. And look, this is what I would say about Golden State. As Draymond gets the M1, leads offensive foul. But this is what I'm saying. Golden State played terrible basketball. Steph played as bad as he could, and this game was close for large portions of it.
Amen Thompson played awesome. Amen Thompson on Friday really limited Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and was a really big reason why Steph was off his game in this one.
And then right here, Jalen Green, he seals the win for the Rockets, 106-96. With just 4 games to play, how closely is Steve Kerr watching the standings?
Our guys have done such an incredible job to climb up to this point, where we were 6 weeks ago. What an incredible run this has been. But you're not going to win every game, and ran into a hot team, played a great game. You just quickly move on. So I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch The White Lotus, and then I'm going to get on the plane tomorrow. Just being honest.
Okay, here we go. This is Sunday morning, and everybody woke up with their coffee and donuts. Everything looks good. Everybody's happy. The Warriors are very nicely in 5th here. The Clippers are in 7th. They've won 13 out of 16 games. They could never get from 7th to 8th. Then we all watched The White Lotus, and what happened by Sunday night? We have a big shakeup. The Lakers build a moat. They built a moat here. This is huge because the difference between being the 3 seed in the West and being the 4 could be enormous. So the Lakers have a huge Sunday because they win. The Nuggets lost. The Warriors lost. Look at this. Look at the Clippers.
Close shave. Here come the Clips.
Where did the Clippers come from? Well, they've only won 14 out of 17 games. They couldn't get up, but they are in a great shape with this tiebreaker. Once we go to this tiebreaker, the Clippers all of a sudden look great. You want to know why else they look great? Kawhi Leonard has had 12 consecutive 20-point games. By the way, I don't know if you noticed this, he played on the back-to-back over the weekend. And in the second night of the back-to-back, he only went 12 of 19 for 29 points. He and James Harden have looked fantastic, and the Clippers are masters of the tiebreak because look here, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32. The truth is, this is not real. This is not real. They can't change this number. They don't get to play this team or this team or this team. So what is the actual standings? If you factor in all these teams in the tiebreaker, what does it actually look like? And this is where we get serious. Oh. Holy Moses, where did they come from? Where did they come from? Wait, the Nuggets were just here a second ago. Where are the Nuggets? Are they here? No. Are they here? No. The Nuggets are in the play-in. That just happened yesterday because they lost at home to the Pacers. And I'm going to tell you something else. Nuggets have lost 4 in a row. Michael Malone said yesterday that Jamal Murray's hamstring injury is becoming worse and they don't know when he's going to get back.
Right.
Look at what we've got here. Look at these two teams. Where did they come from? This could be the 4-5 in the first round. This is changing by the day, and we had a major shakeup over the weekend.
But this is what happens if all 5 teams at the end of the season are tied. This is what the standings will look like. Not good news for the Denver Nuggets because guess what? The Timberwolves, as you mentioned, they've swept them in the regular season. So they do not want to finish the season out with everything tied up. Speaking of masters of the tiebreakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, they hold the tiebreaker for every team.
The Lakers are in great shape. They had a
the
great
Western
Sunday.
Conference. So with Windy doing his goodwill hunting over here, Richard, is there a team you feel best about looking at these standings?
Oh, 100%. Obviously, the Jamal Murray situation, the Nuggets depth, that's been an issue for them all year long. So to get Jamal Murray down and then get in the postseason, you had a hamstring, you're going to be playing your hardest basketball that you ever play. You don't want to go in there labored. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves. The way they're playing. You mentioned the Nuggets losing 4 in a row. Well, the Minnesota Timberwolves have won 4 in a row. Their defense, really since they got healthy, since Julius Randle came back, since Dante DiVincenzo came back, since they have been back the way they've been playing. Every team has had some ups and downs, but they have been playing that consistent basketball that we saw last season that ultimately had them take down the champs. Defense, all the egos, I think, are behind them. I think they're just like, hey, let's just focus on and be the best team that we can be.
And they're certainly rounding in the form at the right time. Perk, we need your take on this. When you're looking at this group, who is it that you feel best about? Richard, fix your face.
I'm looking at that 5th seed, the Clippers. They are my sleepers in the Western Conference. I said it a month ago, said it 2 weeks ago, and I'm saying it now. James Harden, he's been balling. Norman Powell, we know been balling. Should have been an all-star. Kawhi, Wendy just pointed that out, what he's been doing and how healthy he's been looking. And Malika, Big Zubac, the Zubac campaign, Defensive Player of the Year, 16 and 12 a night. And then you have the mixture of vets, Derrick Jones Jr.,
Yep.
you have Nicholas Batum,
Got a little
guys
bit of
who are
everything.
stars in their role. And then you have Ty Lue. Ty Lue, one of the best coaches in
Facts.
the game.
That's the only
Clippers
thing I
are
agree with
dangerous
you.
heading into the postseason.
You didn't want to take a swing at Big Zoo's first name there, Perk? We got the pronunciation team.
We talked about that already.
Beat the Zoo
We
Box.
talked about that already.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Keep them down, try to wear, I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA on the list,